Cyber rules, the surge of Gen AI in the back office, Regulation SP amendments, which were introduced in May of last year, AI system involvement. The SEC is already probing SolarWinds style control failures. From spreadsheets to shareholder letters, the way we report risk is changing quickly. Today, on the reporting norms, we unpack the SEC's cyber rules, the surge of Gen AI in the back office, and why every controller and CFO now needs a breach playbook that can survive the 4-day public scrutiny. So let's start with what actually hit the Federal Register. Currently, there are two pillars. Item 105 on Form 8K and Item 106 on the Form 10K, together called the Cybersecurity Risk Management Strategy, Governance, and Incident Disclosure Rule. So what's the triggering event? Once management deems a cyber incident to be material, you have 4 business days to file an 8K. There is no waiting for full containment. While this rule was adopted by the SEC in July 2023, the things I'm about to describe are effective now. But much has changed in the cybersecurity space in 2 years, so I wanted to highlight what you can do now to prepare for any electronic breaches, especially with the use of Gen AI in the back office. Your Form 10K must also spell out how you manage cyber risk and the board's oversight. Large accelerated filers have been on the clock since December 18th of 2023, smaller filers since June 15th of 2024, and inline XBRL tagging kicks in 1 year after each, which essentially makes these rules effective today. Regulation SP amendments, which were introduced in May of last year, but are largely in effect now, these hit broker-dealers, RIAs, mutual funds, and even crypto broker-dealers. Written incident response programs are mandatory. Clients must be notified within 30 days of discovering unauthorized access to sensitive customer information. Larger firms have 18 months to comply, smaller ones get 24. So why does this matter to finance? It's because cyber disclosures are now financial disclosures. If ransomware freezes your ERP and delays revenue recognition, that's material. If an LLM agent spits out customer PII because it was prompt injected, same story. The seconds between we think it's material and that Form 8K clock starting just got very short. Now layer in the generative AI component. By Gartner's last count, over 65% of enterprise controllers are piloting LLM-powered agents for reconciliations, invoice coding, or management reporting. Brilliant for productivity, but every new model endpoint is a fresh vector for attack. Here's the risk trifecta Gen AI introduces. Firstly, there's data provenance risk. Finance co-pilots need journal-level detail. If the vector store feeding that co-pilot is poisoned, your flash P&L could be off by millions, and you might publish it before detecting the drift. Secondly, prompt and retrieval attacks. Adversaries can inject malicious instructions through vendor invoices or even customer emails. A clever prompt injection could force the model to dump sensitive deal terms straight into its chat response, or worse, to write erroneous postings into the ledger. Thirdly, model governance blind spots. Traditional SOX controls cover who can post a journal entry. They do not cover who can tweak an embedding model or push a new prompt template at 2 a.m. Without a segregation of duties layer for AI, you've effectively opened a privileged backdoor into the financial system. Combine these with the SEC's 4-day clock, and you see the pressure. Gen AI increases both the likelihood of material cyber incidents and the mandate to talk about them in plain sight. Okay, so what can we do now that's actionable? I'm going to give you a framework you can pitch in your next internal disclosure committee or finance and accounting staff meeting. Call it the 4-day, 30-day, 90-day rule. The first one is the 4 days Form 8K playbook. Number one, consider drafting a one-page template now. For example, incident summary, timeline, impact, remediation step. Then get pre-approved legal language blocks so counsel isn't writing from scratch at 2 a.m. And then include a line on AI system involvement. The SEC is already probing SolarWinds-style control failures and will expect clarity. What can you do in the next 30 days? A customer drill notice or notice drill under Reg SP. As an example, run a tabletop exercise where you discover your AP Copilot leaked supplier banking data. Walk through the 30-day notification, including who has the authority to hit send. Within the next 90 days, integrate AI controls into your Form 10K narratives. First, map every Gen AI workflow against COSO and your National Institute of Standards and Technology, or NIST frameworks. Input validation, prompt logging, role-based access. Second, document third-party model providers and place them under SOC 2 Plus questionnaires. Thirdly, have a proactive discussion with your audit committee. Directors need to understand prompt injection the way they understand phishing. And then fourth, also consider folding AI risk metrics, model drift incidents, prompt violation counts into your quarterly board dashboard. That way, when the Form 10K asks about governance, you already have the hard numbers, not anecdotes. So let's spotlight 3 materiality scenarios that sneak up on finance teams that may be good examples for you to consider. The first sample scenario is silent data corruption. This is where a compromised model gradually rounds FX rates or commodity prices. The variance stays just under threshold until quarter end, then explodes. The impact could be a revenue misstatement. The second sample scenario is synthetic identity fraud via chatbots. A customer-facing Gen AI assistant processes fake vendor info and automatically sets up payment profiles. The impact could be cash leakage, potential Form 8K if the losses are big. The third sample scenario is an LLM-enabled vendor breach. Your third-party payroll provider, for example ADP, uses an LLM to parse spreadsheets. Attacker uses an adversarial spreadsheet file to break out of the sandbox. PII is exposed under Reg SP. You, not just the vendor, must inform employees within 30 days. Each of these scenarios links AI misuse to financial statement risk. That's where folding IT, finance, accounting, and legal into one incident response war room makes more sense than ever. So here are my 4 crisp takeaways for you. Number 1, speed is the new control. 4 days to file means you must know your AI attack surfaced now, not after the breach. Number 2, AI risk does not equal IT risk alone. Controllers own the data, CISOs own the perimeter. They need a shared runbook. Number 3, board of directors literacy on this topic is no longer optional. Teach prompt injection and data poisoning in the same breath as segregation of duties. And then number 4, logging is more important than ever. Every prompt, embedding change, or model swap must leave an audit-ready breadcrumb trail. Well, that's it for today's edition of the Reporting Norms. If today's episode helped tighten your compliance muscles, hit subscribe and share it with one colleague who still thinks AI risk lives only in the server room. I'm Norm Osumi, reporting on the norms that shape your numbers. Until next time, stay transparent.